Welcome to Shyzabox. Here's your host. Thank you. Yes. Welcome to Shyzabox, home of the #1 source of unbiased news and information of everything pertaining to Xbox that we talk about that is Xbox related, obviously. So, thank you for joining us today, and you might be saying, how does this show keep going on? We would like to reenact how this happened to afford yet one more episode. And it goes like this. Minding our business. Who's that? Hello? Yes? What? Pay him back the $20 I owe him. Well, you tell Mark that he just gets to sponsor an episode. I don't have $20. Well, you tell Mark he's sponsoring an episode and he's not getting that $20. It costs them $20 to sponsor the episode. Well, you tell Mark then that if he's sponsoring the episode, then we say whatever he wants us to say in it. Oh, so he would say, this show sucks. No, I'm not agreeing to that. That's a dumb idea. You owe me $20. Give me my $20. No. Well, it just so happens, you tell Mark that if we're recording this whole thing now, and it's recorded that he said that, and we said that, and that's the show. That's the sponsor for the show. He sponsored the show, and we said what he wanted us to say. Then he agreed to it, and we don't have to pay him $20. Okay, good. Well, you tell Mark we don't have to be friends. We also don't have to pay him the $20 because obviously he sponsored the episode. And that's how it went. Needless to say, we get to do another episode to get out of paying $20. That's neither here nor there. Don't worry about where the sponsorship comes from. Did you pay for it? No, then don't worry about it. How did we get to this part of the internet? We'll tell you. You're clicking on all sorts of shit. That's on you. Needless to say, we here at Shyzabox, it's the #1 source of news and information pertaining to everything Xbox that we dive into and talk about and things like that. And today we need to talk about some of those hard-hitting classics that Xbox brings to the table, or in this case, to their gaming apparatuses, devices, mediums, things of that nature. And what are we talking about? Ryse. Oh yeah, you know this one, we know this one. We've spent a lot of time in the Ryse universe and social studies growing up in school and in textbooks and things like that, talking about the Roman Empire. We watched Gladiator in theaters, motherfuckers. We're that old. Fucking, what's a movie theater? I don't know. Do they still have those? That's for you to figure out if movie theaters still exist. We don't know. But we'll tell you this. They do. We've seen them. They're still out there. They're not playing movies like fucking Gladiator on them. Enjoy your Despicable Me 36. However many of those there are. Probably 36 of them. We're guessing. We don't know. Maybe there's only 8 or 5 or 12. Doesn't matter. We here at Shyzabox want to dive into some of those classics, those old hitting games, man, like Ryse. Son of Rome, you might be saying to yourself, like, that game's really not that great. And we would be saying we're not going to argue with that. It's not a hard hitter like, I don't know, other studios bring to the table or platforms might have on them. We'll just say it's Spider-Man on PlayStation, for instance, just off the top of our heads, right? Now, we're not saying that there's anything that would ever influence our decision, okay, over Xbox, over anything like that, okay? It doesn't really pertain to, you know, anything that would sway our mind in any way, shape, or form to be swayed away from Xbox. Because, of course, we're the most #1 unbiased place to obtain any of that from. Oh, sorry, we get parched. Gotta kind of take a sip on occasion. Wet our whistle. So, nothing sways us or gets us away from, you know, Xbox in its own. And that's why talking about Ryse and how good it is as far as how it looks. It looks gorgeous. Game looks really good, man. You can't get away from, you know, kind of the combat, how the visuals are, as far as the, you know, dismemberment is insanely awesome in this game. Now, the game itself is fairly lackluster as far as, and we love the linearity of it, man. We love linear gameplay. And that's what makes this so open, you know, right up our alley. That doesn't really change the fact as open world games go, like, I don't know, Spider-Man, man, and you got, you know, well, this one's on PlayStation, where you got, like, you know, haptic feedback and stuff like that, and you can go, like, swinging your webs, like, pss, 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 and you're, like, feeling it and getting into it, and it's like, man, I'm Spider-Man, I'm going all over this city and running this game, man. It's like, bam, let me rock some Spider-Man on PlayStation, man, and start rocking that haptic feedback. But, you know, when you do whatever, you know, you have to, you know, return to games like Ryse and stuff, there's rumble features and stuff, so that's cool. But, yeah, it's not haptic feedback, so, I mean, you don't know when your sword's, like, going through the bone or anything like that, but, you know, I mean, you get that, you know, haptic feedback on PlayStation. You know when you're shooting the web out of your left or out of your right, and, I mean, you know, yeah, it's just insane. But, you know, the rumble's cool and stuff, too. They got, you know, rumble features in Ryse. The dismemberment's awesome. The gameplay, though, aside from, like, just the linear aspect, which we said we love the linear aspect of everything that Ryse has and such, what we don't like is a lot of the implemented mechanics and things of that nature, man. A lot of the, you know, kind of button time presses, and even when you are making decisions as to, you know, where to, you know, focus X, Y, or Z, man, as far as that, we love the aspect that the options there. But the payoff or the choices and things like that, man, really seem to be, you know, offered on just a blanket kind of level, to where it's cool that they're in there, but it's not like being able to go around and track down, like, you know, the drones in the city and stuff like that. Like, oh, you gotta swing to this exact location and get this drone or some shit, or chase this fucking pigeon around the park or something and swing from trees. They're all magically the fucking right size to be able to swing off of and shit. You know, you got like, you know, bam, Spider-Man and stuff like that, chasing pigeons and shit. Or, you know, you're doing like a blanket choice of stuff. So you got to kind of pick where you want to play and stuff like that. But we here at Shyzabox love Xbox so much that obviously, you know, we just can't help but talk about how great some aspects of this game are and such. And, like, you know, yeah, the visuals and all that, the story even, you know, even though it's pretty cliche and run-of-the-mill, we love it. We don't know why Xbox would choose to not redo franchises like this and instead choose to, you know, and let's go behind the curtain where the sausage is made. Let's go behind the curtain where the sausage is made, and let's be honest, you know, when Xbox keeps cranking out bangers, man, like my friend Peppa Pig on Game Pass, alright? Then bam, it's like, do you really need to make a follow-up to Ryse or a sequel or even a rendition or reiteration of it or a reimagining or a, you know, remake of it and stuff like that? No, man. You're too busy closing down studios and firing people and saying, no, don't make Ryse 2. Have external studios make Peppa Pig and we'll just rent that shit and put it on Game Pass. And they'll pay a monthly subscription fee to play it. Now, is Peppa Pig still on Game Pass, or was it ever? We don't know. It probably was. Maybe. Maybe it's not. How'd you get a copy? Don't worry about how we get a copy here at Shyzabox. We have all things Xbox that we get that are Xbox. Obviously. Hold on. Let's get our Spider-Man cup here and wet our whistle real quick. We get parched, bringing you all of these fun little bits of facts and news and information in a completely unbiased way. And that's why you're here, and that's why you trust us as that source of news and information. But let's go ahead and keep talking about Ryse, because this game really is a phenomenal, just in complete intellectual property that is aching to be revisited, and should have been revisited probably, 1, 2, 3 times in meetings ago when, Phil Spencer, who still owes us a, nifty jacket like he always wears, kind of technically. I mean, does he really owe us that? No, but we asked him a long time ago in ones of our videos to send us one. And he never did. It was supposed to come on a brand new truck that's all decked out in Xbox shit. That he never sent us as well. We've had to buy all of our own Xbox stuff. But that's neither here nor there. At Shyzabox, we harbor no grudges against Xbox because we love it so much, and that's why we present all of these news and information and hard-hitting facts in a completely unbiased way. So when we're talking about remakes and things like that, it's like, oh, well, maybe Ryse isn't worth remaking. And obviously, it is worth remaking. And, you're going to send us back and to see where the sausage is made for a second time? That's unheard of. We don't usually do this, but we are going to have to dive straight into it because obviously it's that important to you. We're talking about remakes. We're talking about renditions. We're talking about everything that you want to know about, and you're saying Ryse isn't worth remastering. Ryse isn't worth re-putting out and fucking fixing because there's so many aspects that really are broken about the game, even though it's fantastic. The setting, story's okay, it can be improved on. It could be worse, it's fine. Graphics are fucking awesome. Dismemberment is amazing, so good. Combat is amazing, so good. The options are there. They can be improved upon and perfected. In your decision-making that's blanketed, you can do a deep, with today's capabilities, such a deep iteration of it and such. And we present all of these, to you because we have all of these hard-hitting ideas that are state-of-the-art for things that, obviously, no one could ever think about aside from us. But you're sending us to where the sausage is made to talk about remastering and renditions. All right, hold on. Let's get some Go Juice so we can go do that for you. Mark did pay for $20 worth of content. Can't argue with that. He has gotten it already by now. We work for more than $1 a minute, and it's already been many minutes past $1's worth. All right, we're getting to it. Yes, okay. We're on it. Renditions and remasterings, eh? Yes. We know exactly where to go with this one. Okay. If you are looking for a remastering or a rendition, Last of Us, obviously that's where you're going to go because it's on PlayStation, and with PlayStation you get that haptic feedback. You get the same games again and again and again and again. What's going to come out again next from PlayStation that you're like, oh man, we need a remastering of that? It's been a year or 2 or 3 or 4. It's been less than 10. We need a remastering. It's Horizon Forbidden West Dawn Dinosaurs. And you might be saying, oh, that is coming out. I might want to be getting that PS5 Pro to play it with updated, graphics and visuals and fidelity and big science words and things of that nature. And we'd be saying yes. But first, before you do that, dive into the remake and remastering of this because you know what doesn't exist? a remake and remastering of this. So, you got to say for yourself, which would you rather play? A game that doesn't exist, so in essence, nothing, or you go back and play Last of Us for the 13th time because it's been remastered, like, probably that many. Or we've purchased it that many. We can't remember. Is this Skyrim we're talking about or Last of Us? It doesn't matter. As long as you keep buying the same game, they can keep making it. And it gives you a reason to return to it because it's like, oh yeah, I remember that game. I played that like a couple years ago. Bam! Let me fucking buy that shit again. It's not on the subscription service to PlayStation Plus Membership Pro. It's not on Game Pass as this is. I need to buy that shit again. Bam! Remasters coming in. Let's go. What we really need, though, is that Ryse remaster. Because us here at Shyzabox, we loves our Game Pass. And if there's one thing that we would love coming to our Game Pass is a day one release of Ryse remastered, because there's some aspects of this that could so be improved upon and make it such a stellar game. And with the amount of studios they've closed down, we know there's some people that are available to hire and maybe make it. Fuck. Maybe even the original people who made the first one could fucking remake it. They probably made the first one and they fucking got fired from a closed down studio. We don't know that. They probably didn't or could not have. Maybe the studio's still around. Who the fuck made this? CryEngine. If they did get closed down, I'll bet they're crying now. Because Xbox passed on an opportunity to make a fucking another version of this even better. We love remakes all the time. Fucking all we want is remakes. We want remakes and remakes and remasters and remasters and remakes. And we will play them on PlayStation. We will play them on Xbox. Because we love Xbox here at Shyzabox, the most completely unbiased news and information source for everything pertaining to Xbox and everything about it. With that, it's time for us to go recharge. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, other channels want your subscription. We just want your money. So, you don't have to subscribe to us. Just give us money. That's really all we need. So, there you go. The show's over. Go on with whatever else you do. Have a good one. You probably didn't. We'll catch you next time. Probably won't.